There is a generation of adult kids
Yeah.
who were raised in evangelical Christianity, grieving, losing our loved ones, our parents, our grandparents, our uncles, our siblings, our best friends. Like, we are not separated from all the MAGA stuff, right? A lot of us who grew up Christian, because many of us grew up evangelical fundamentalists. So we, in another timeline, perhaps could see that we ourselves could have ended up MAGA. And I
Oh,
think
yeah.
it's just very easy. We understand
Mhm.
like
Yep.
the religious depth, right, of MAGA. And so as someone preaching in the US today, like, what do you believe that we should do as these adult kids?
That's such a tough question, right?
I know.
Such a tough question. And it is, but it's one of the things that we're all wrestling with, right? One of the things that I really had to come to terms with, especially as I do my own healing work and not to use buzz phrases, but like legitimately shadow work and those kinds of things, is recognizing that much of what I hate, it's just a reflection of things inside me already. There are things that in my in my MAGA friend that I have breakfast with on a pretty regular basis, there are things that I hear him or see him do or hear him say that are a reflection of parts of me, right? And so like I have to be careful because the violence that I want to commit on him is the violence I'm doing to myself already, or I was doing, right, or taught to do to myself, right? The psychological violence. So I think that we have to recognize those parts in us. Like, I think that's the brilliance of some of Jesus's teaching about loving our enemies, because loving our enemies is really about loving ourselves. Now, that metaphor eventually will unravel and falls apart, like all metaphors do. But so much of what we see and hate out there are things that we hate about ourselves. And that's really hard to come to terms with. The internalized racism I was given, right? Internalized misogyny that so many women have that support these systems, right? Or coming out of that, I mean, there's just these things that we were given by white Christian nationalism. And they were given to us at such an early age that they are like rooted down deep, and they grow and they take such a hold, and they are foundational. So I think that we have to first like recognize, okay, why am I feeling this way? Not just because it is wrong, but why the visceral reaction that some of us have. And I think part of that is because like, oh, there it is. I see that. That could be me, like you said. That could easily be me.